For many, an inherited house filled with decades of belongings is a physical trap that outweighs the financial windfall. Enter the as-is clean-out purchase. It is a specific type of real estate transaction engineered to completely bypass the agonizing physical labor of clearing a home. This chart maps the real estate selling spectrum. The vertical axis measures available time and upfront capital. The horizontal axis measures property distress and clutter. With little time or cash, but massive hoarding or disrepair, you fall into the bottom right, the as-is clean-out zone. This model is not a standard listing strategy. It operates strictly as a specialized rescue mechanism for properties that are simply too overwhelmed for the traditional open market. Traditional real estate orthodoxy dictates a clear path to secure the highest possible market price. You must clear out the house, repair the damages, and stage the rooms. That route requires significant inputs. You need out-of-pocket cash to rent dumpsters, hire professional junk haulers, pay for deep cleaning, and cover contractors to fix glaring issues before a buyer can even secure a mortgage. The as-is clean-out model offers a sharp contrast. You can leave dirty dishes in the sink, broken appliances in the kitchen, and a cluttered garage exactly as they are, without penalty or delay. By choosing this route, you eliminate the need for personal labor and upfront capital. Instead, you secure a rapid closing and immediately transfer all liability for the property's condition to the buyer. This creates a direct trade-off. By skipping the exhausting cleanout and expensive repairs, you are actively purchasing absolute convenience and speed, paying for it using a portion of your property's potential market equity. Let's break down the exact logistics of what happens after the closing paperwork is signed in one of these transactions. You are legally permitted to abandon almost anything. This includes standard household goods, decades of boxed paperwork, heavy yard debris, and even large equipment like vehicles, RVs, or boats left in the driveway. The moment the keys change hands, the post-closing protocol begins. The buyer assumes total responsibility for coordinating commercial dumpsters, routing salvageable goods to local charities, and managing the disposal of hazardous materials or e-waste. Warning tone. There is a strict rule regarding valuables. Once closing is complete, ownership of every single item left on the property transfers to the buyer. Any overlooked antiques or electronics become their asset to offset disposal costs. That means your only responsibility prior to closing is to walk through the home and retrieve sentimental items, important financial paperwork, family photos, or specific valuables you want to keep. Beyond the cash offer, the buyer provides total, legally binding indemnification from the physical cleanup of a lifetime of accumulation. To understand if that trade-off makes financial sense, look at this table comparing the net payout of the status quo against a walkaway sale. Traditional sales require significant upfront costs for dumpster rentals and hauling fees. The walkaway model requires zero out-of-pocket cash. The status quo demands grueling weekends of sorting, lifting, and managing debris. The as-is approach requires zero physical effort. You literally take what you want and lock the door. Preparing a heavily cluttered home for the retail market can delay a listing by months. An as-is transaction typically reaches the closing table in 7 to 14 days. Traditional retail sales are subject to unpredictable inspection surprises, buyer concessions, and agent commissions. The as-is offer provides a fixed, guaranteed number. When you run the math, the seemingly lower cash offer of an as-is sale often breaks even with a traditional listing, once you subtract the invisible costs of dumpsters, extended holding times, and 6% agent commissions from your final equity. The cash buyer willingly takes on extreme hoarding or severe foundational disrepair for a specific calculated reason. They're not doing it as a charity favor. The substantial cost of commercial clearing and structural rehabilitation is calculated and deducted directly from their initial cash offer to you. By bypassing the open market, you are accepting a lost opportunity cost. You forfeit any chance of sparking a bidding war among retail buyers or capturing premium neighborhood pricing. In reality, you are effectively hiring a junk removal crew, a general contractor, and a real estate agent all at exactly the same time, and you are paying for their services strictly out of your property's profit margin. With those mechanics in mind, we can identify the exact profile of homeowner who should avoid the as-is cleanout model entirely. If you live locally, possess the emotional bandwidth to sort through belongings, and have the upfront cash to cover basic repairs, you will always fare better on the traditional real estate market. If a property only requires light decluttering, a fresh coat of paint, and minor cosmetic updates, trading away your equity for a fast closing is an unnecessary financial loss. Convenience is incredibly expensive. If your situation does not desperately demand back convenience, you should not pay the premium of a reduced cash offer. This decision matrix shows who benefits from a zero-friction exit. It starts with a simple question. Do you live near the property? If you're an out-of-state inheritor managing a probate sale, the distance makes coordinating clean-out logistics nearly impossible. Next, look at the condition. Families dealing with severe hoarding or disrepair often lack the upfront capital to make the home presentable. This also serves fatigued landlords with abandoned tenant property and downsizing seniors physically unable to perform heavy labor. For these specific groups, the traditional real estate market is a logistical nightmare. The as-is cash offer ceases to be a compromise and instead becomes an essential tool to escape a paralyzing situation. The ultimate reality of the walkaway sale is straightforward. It commoditizes peace of mind. Taking what matters to you and leaving the rest behind represents a permanent transfer. You are handing over both the massive physical burden and a portion of the property's potential value. Success in this transaction depends entirely on taking an honest inventory of your own limits regarding time, your available money, and emotional endurance. Trading equity for convenience is an optimal, pragmatic choice when time and distance are your greatest enemies.